Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to continue work on this 1982 FJ45 pickup truck. Now in the last video you saw we did manage to a successful engine start. Today I want to get everything back together, all the components on, so we can take it for a test drive. A few things we need to do before we can get it going on the road, so let's crack on. Alright, so moving right along with this. There's a few things I've done off of camera that I didn't bother filming. I didn't think it was that interesting. I've basically got the power steering lines back on, got the drag link put back in, the steering stabilizer put on. Just a few bits and pieces really off camera just to move right along with getting to this point. But one of the things I wanted to film, thought you might find of interest, is basically, I want to get the fuel out of the fuel tank. The fuel in that fuel tank's been sitting out there for, I think, about a year and a half now. So I really don't want to run that through my freshly built engine. In the test fire we did, we ran it straight out of a 5-gallon bucket. Out of a 5-gallon gas can. So what I want to do is get the old fuel out of the fuel tank. Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. You could try siphoning out of where the gas cap is. I tried that method, it didn't work too well. There's too many bends and it won't get in all the way into the tank properly. There's a bung at the bottom of the tank that you can undo, but my worry there is if I do that, I may not be able to get the bung seated back in properly, and that could end up leaking down the road. So one of the ideas I came up with was this. So this is just basically a little 12-volt fuel pump. I think it costs like $13 on Amazon or something like that. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to hook this up to the fuel line that comes from the tank, disconnect the return line, and then have this side that pulls the fuel from the fuel tank, and this side with just a bit of hose connected, and then we'll run that into a gas can or something like that and dispose of that appropriately. So that's what I want to do, and then we get some fresh fuel in it and be one step closer to firing this up. This thing has absolutely no power behind it whatsoever. It's no wonder it only costs 13 bucks. So, I found this little fluid transfer pump which I had sitting in the garage, and it seemed to be siphoning out pretty good. So, should have went with the old school method to begin with. Anyway, at least it works. All right, we've been going just a few minutes. Seems to be working out pretty well. Half a bucket, so maybe 2 gallons in there. Come up on 2.5 gallons. Hopefully it's not too much more. I don't know how much is in this tank. I cannot remember. So hopefully it's not too much. I guess we'll just keep on going. All right, so everything's back together. Last thing that we need to do before we can do a test drive is we're gonna break the engine in. We've also got one of these little RPM gauge so that we can get the engine up to 1500 RPM for about 15 minutes. So we're gonna fire it up, break everything in, and hopefully everything will work good.
Pump the gas a few times.
Success. 15 minutes, ran good, no issues. Got a couple of coolant leaks. One, you can't really see it behind there, and one looks like it's coming out the freeze plug. So hopefully that will seal up. So now I'm gonna take it out for a test drive. Let's do it. It's half a truck. That's all right. Let's do it. first it's so short, it seems really hard to get in, but man, it's awesome, dude. You wanna hop in?
Sure.
Well, what a result that was. A year and a half-ish since we originally pulled the head, and man, what a great feeling today was. Brilliant. I mean, truck got into like second or third gear, I think, at one point, so, you know, seemed to go through the gears just fine. Everything's working out brilliant, so super happy, super chuffed. Bit more work to do before we can get it ready for the highway, but we're close, real close. Awesome. All right, guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to tune in next time. On the next video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on fixing up the wiring harness, because it's a little bit dodgy in this truck. Wires all over the place. Another thing we need to do is, because we're now gone from a 4-speed to a 5-speed transmission, and transmission tunnel, the hump cover doesn't fit anymore, so we have to fabricate a new one of those. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate you guys. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.